I specifically told my ex-wife he's gonna start a fight. They said, well, how do you know this? I said, because that's what I would do.
Kai Greene and Phil Heath had one of the most iconic bodybuilding rivalries in recent times. The 7-time Mr. Olympia, Phil Heath had dethroned Jay Cutler and looked unstoppable ever since. However, Kai was determined to take the Mr. Olympia title for himself and gave Phil a run for his money. After finishing second twice in a row, Kai Greene believed that in 2014, the Mr. Olympia title would be his. But did it happen? Find out in this video as we look at all that and their relationship today at times in their own works. A hot rivalries. Bodybuilding has had a lot of great rivalries over the years. Schwarzenegger and Sergio Oliva was among the first. The 1980s were headlined by Lee Haney and Rich Gaspari, and many fans still look back fondly on the respectable challenges between Ronnie Coleman and Jay Cutler. Fans today still think about all of the onstage moments between Phil Heath and Kai Greene. They also hope that they get to see them battle on stage at least one more time. Greene has been very vocal on social media about wanting to compete against Heath again. He has posted call-outs of the 7-time Mr. Olympia on Twitter and Instagram several times in the past. He also has shared images of himself in contest-level shape at times. Heath, on the other hand, had directly tweeted to him asking about grabbing a meal, but hasn't engaged in the call-outs to face off.
Tiger is a very methodical, centric type of person. So like when you're going against him, you have to understand we're going against one of the hardest working bodybuilders ever seen.
A quick look back. Greene turned pro in 2004 and Heath followed in 2005. They had faced each other on numerous occasions over the years since. Their first encounter on a big stage was at the 2008 Arnold Classic. Heath finished second and Greene came in third. The contest was won by Dexter Jackson. They would face off again at the 2009 Olympia. This time, Greene finished ahead of Heath, placing 4th and 5th respectively. Greene would defeat Heath again when he won the 2010 Arnold Classic. That was the last time that Greene would be higher than Heath in a contest. Heath would win the Olympia from Jay Cutler in 2011. He famously would hold back the challenge of Greene for the following 3 years. The 2014 contest was their final pose down, and the tension was so high that fans thought they may get into an actual fight. This was the last time that Mr. Getting It Done has been on the Olympia stage as a competitor. Kai Greene and Phil Heath, a war of words. Things got ugly between Kai Greene and Phil Heath during the 2014 Mr. Olympia press conference. While talking to the press, Phil said, "I told my father before he passed that, I'm going to bring home one for him, and that's what I intend to do. I'd be foolish to come up here like I said before.
I'm going to bring one home for him. I'd be foolish to come up here, like I said before.
That's what the first 3 should have been. I respect your father. I respect anyone that has had a father. I didn't have one."
However, Kai interrupted him and said, "That's what the first 3 should have been." He further added, "I respect your father. I respect anyone that has had a father," and said he didn't want to come across as negative, but it's 2014. 2013 is in the past. Kai's statement agitated Phil. "You've talked about the past your whole entire career making excuses," Phil snapped back. Kai has always talked about his troubled childhood and how bodybuilding saved him.
I had just recently lost my father. My focus was honoring him, taking it up another notch.
However, things didn't calm down, and the back and forth continued. So the host asked Kai to give 3 reasons why Phil would lose on stage. Kai said that he would outweigh Phil by 40 pounds, would be wider than Phil on stage, and also would bring a much more developed back.
Fact 1, we'll outweigh him by 40 pounds. Fact 2, we'll be wider. Fact 3, it's all over from the rear.
However, Heath didn't agree. When the host asked him the same question, Phil said 2011, 2012, and 2013.
2011, 2012, and 2013.
I said, just understand, come tomorrow, it's going to get ugly.
Although the veteran bodybuilders have other ventures in terms of business, making celebrity appearances, one can't deny that the bodybuilding championship quest still runs in their veins. In a throwback tweet post, Kai Greene described their rivalry as the greatest love story ever and hinted at something his fans went crazy about.
The champion of Phil Heath is any less than we know it has to have been in order to be where he was and where he is.
Kai Greene's admiration of Phil Heath. The 2019 tweet fueled Kai's fans with hope and anticipation. He posted a video and wrote, "The greatest love story #2020 to be continued, at Phil Heath." While the spirit to compete was at its highest level, Kai also confessed his admiration and respect for Heath. In the video, he said that Heath made him better. Furthermore, he added, "No one else can make me want to fight harder."
Personally, I think he's a great champion. I really do. I don't think that there's a question. I don't think his champion has been questioned at all.
Their rivalry has been fans' favorite and most looked forward to in the game of Mr. Olympia. Despite several attempts to dethrone Heath, he wasn't able to defeat the 7 times Mr. Olympia. Heath, on the other hand, is a bodybuilder par excellence, who waded through every challenge that came his way and strapped on to the title very strongly. The two champions have hinted several times about coming back to the world stage with their posts on social media with titles like "War is Coming" in 2021. Fans are extremely supportive of Kai and can't wait to see him win the coveted Mr. Olympia title, if ever.
What can you accomplish with 7 Olympias that you couldn't accomplish with 1? Still an unchallengeable champion in our sport. You can't take that away from him.
Kai Greene, an artistic bodybuilder. Besides building muscle, clenching fists, and flaunting his massive physique, he pursues something as delicate as a feather. Kai is an artist. Fair to say, it is one of his biggest passions. He primarily loves to work around self-portraits, as he draws a lot of inspiration from them. He also made a creative connection by comparing art to bodybuilding and defined himself as a master sculptor. He also confessed that his art made him realize that the medium to express his art was his human physique. "My life is what I make of it, just like the art I've produced." Furthermore, he conducted art shows that have greatly helped him discover himself and celebrate. He iterated, "Some personal accomplishments and my own artistic expression." The chances of them competing again. Putting the hype aside, what are the chances that both legends would step on stage together again? As a former Mr. Olympia, Heath has lifetime entry in any contest sanctioned by the IFBB Pro League. All he has to do is say the word, and he is in whatever lineup he picks. Greene has that same privilege with any contest except the Olympia. As a former Arnold Classic champion, Greene is eligible to enter that contest if he sees fit. He can also throw his name into the ring for other contests, so both men could compete again at the Arnold Classic if they so desired. Competing together at the Mr. Olympia is another situation. Greene would either have to qualify for that contest, or he could accept a special invite if he was offered one. He was offered one in 2017, but he declined it. It's reasonable to believe that if he agreed to sign a contract to compete, that he would be offered one, but no such invite has been formally given as of yet. Fans have also been subjected to hype and teases from Greene before, with nothing of substance coming from it. So it's very likely that a clear, hard, and official commitment would have to be made by the 3-time Arnold Classic winner before any promotion was invested.
I think it's a good time. I think it's a wonderful time in the sport. I think a lot of people got an opportunity to step up. Time of reflection is a tremendous opportunity. There's a lot of freedom now.
The only thing we can do between now and the next Olympia is stay tuned. However, it's of importance to remember that Kai Greene stopped competing in 2016 after he won the Arnold Classic Australia, and Arnold Classic Brazil that year, and Phil Heath hasn't competed since the 2018 Mr. Olympia competition. That's all for this video, folks. See you another time.